Just like every female celebrity at the moment, we've given this old girl a big bloody facelift. Well, the 200 series, one could say it's probably the most reliable and popular off-road vehicles here in Australia to date. They've been around for years. We even had one. So let's have a look at what we've put together here for off-road use, touring. Our customer is going to be doing a lap of Australia. So let's go through the big old 200, starting from the front. Okay, so at the front of the vehicle, we've got a trusty old TJM Bullbar. Full protection for the front of the vehicle. Like I said, she's going around Australia. Peggy's opted for the carbon tank winch, which is hiding in behind the bar there, coupled with some road vision, new 8-inch spotlights on the front. So I do like these. They've got a little DRL on the outside. Stepping up a bit, we've got 2 GME whips. Now, one is for FM AM radio. I'll actually tell you why we've put that on just a little bit later, so hang around for that. And good old UHF. Got the good old whip down, whip up bracket as well, at the request of her. And basically, that is the front of the vehicle, ready to rock and roll. Check these out. These are lasers. 007, eat your heart out. Don't worry about trying to whistle your way through some kangaroos, you just chop them in half. No, just kidding. These are actually just a little rude deterrent. If you've had these on your vehicle and you reckon they actually work, put in the comments below if you had them, if it worked. I'm not 100% sure if it works or not, so let me know if it did for you. Okay guys, so following the bar work around the side of the vehicle, we do have scrub rails here, so when you put it into a wall, you're not going to damage your actual panel, you're going to damage that first. Down the bottom, we did do a Raptor coat on the step tread because it does not come in a black. It is actually an alloy finish. So we've done that and then coupled it with the step, which is going to give your sill a bit of protection as well. Let's go around the back. I'll show you what's on the rear of this thing. On the rear, as you can see, we've got a full swing away get up. It is a Raslarr bar setup. So down the bottom here, excellent protection for the rear end of these vehicles. If you have ever had any kind of experience with a 200, you know that this part of the vehicle cops a flogging. So that's why we chop it out and put this big bit of steel there. How good's that? Anyway, all right, you got 2 jerry can holders on this side and you do have the wheel swing away on that side. Pretty damn functional. If you wanted to go 2 spare holders, you can do that. It is interchangeable, so depending on what your needs are, you can do those options. Peggy obviously wanted a little bit of storage for either fuel or extra water, and then 1 spare on this side is gonna do what she needs to do. If you haven't noticed, down the bottom there is lighting because obviously your factory lights get covered up by spare wheels and jerry cans and all that kind of stuff. We have incorporated all of her trailer plugs because she is towing. Like I said, she's going around Australia and she's taking a van along for the ride. Extra cameras here for the extra plug here for the cameras on her caravan. Standard 7-pin, couple of andos there for power to the van, and then a solar input, I'm pretty sure, which is the red one there. Don't forget, these have got a factory camera on the back of the vehicle. So Raslarr, in their genius, incorporate that with the bar setup so it does go on this swing away just there. That way you can actually still see the tow ball and everything that you want to see from the vehicle. Happy days. All right, so why would you do a swing away setup on a vehicle like this? There is something special that's going to be happening in here, but that won't happen until next year. So the main reason is because underneath the vehicle, we've actually got a larger sub tank. So we've done a Brown Davis sub tank underneath the back of this. It's technically not a sub tank, but that's what I'm going to call it. You have your original spare wheel under there, so that has to go somewhere. Hence, the reason why we now have it on the back of the vehicle. So not only is it housing that to allow more diesel, it is also giving us good protection, extra lighting, somewhere to put all our bits and bobs for the towing, kind of does a lot of jobs with the one piece of equipment. All right, rear bar done. So as you can see at the back here, it's not just a piece of glass anymore. We've got an emu wing. At the request of Peggy, she wanted some access into the rear because fun things will be happening in here next year. Lockable, weatherproof, and super practical, especially when she comes back for stage 2 as well. So pretty happy with them. They came up pretty good. Another thing that we've done on this vehicle, well, I didn't do it, but our good friends at Slick Ads have done it. This thing has actually got a full PPF wrap. So if you are thinking about smashing down some tracks and getting a bit of lantana down the side of your car, PPF wrap on your paintwork is a must-have. Definitely going to keep your car protected as well. Okay, here we go. Let's go up to the roof. So the trusty old Rhino rack, we've put this up here, backbone system, and we've gone the tradie platform at the request of our customer as well. So we've got a lot of gear on this one. We've got lighting left and right. We've got a light bar on the front. We've got a bushwhacker awning on the other side. We've got lighting on the other side. On the actual rack, we've got max tracks up there, shovel holders, high lift jack holders. We've got gas bottle holders. We've got a self-eye antenna up the top as well on a flip down bracket. I've got a solar panel up there, and we've got the K-on table holder that is underneath the rack as well. So there is a whole lot of gear getting used up here on the roof rack. So she's definitely gone all out on utilizing that space really, really well. So all of her essentials, it's already done, mate. It's ready to rock and roll. All right, you can't be a Touring 200 without some Clearviews. So Peggy's gone with compacts. They come out, they go in, they go up, down, left and right with your original mirror glass moving devices on the inside of the car. They do everything you need it to do, especially if you got a Sahara actually. So all your genuine stuff doesn't get lost, guys. You keep that functionality. That's what I love about Clearviews. Number 2, must have Safari R-Max snorkel. If you don't have a snorkel, get one. Nah, it just depends on how you're using your car. Obviously, Peggy's going around Australia, so she needs one of these. She will be doing water crossings. She will be driving on really dusty roads. So to have a high air intake that is weatherproof, waterproof is a must have. All right, guys, under bonnet, we've got the essentials. We've gone with a GSL fan kit on the intercooler itself, so that thing is not going to get stupidly heat soaked. Over in the top corner, oil air separator, which I like. Make sure you service them. I always say that in our videos. They are a serviceable item, along with pre-filter for the fuel system as well. So it's going to come up from the fuel tank into this, then utilize your factory one before it goes into the engine. Hybrid lithium for the Invicta as well. There is a little bit of wiring here that we didn't do that was previously done to the vehicle. It is a 2017 model, mind you, if you didn't even catch that. But we got all of our fusing here for Peggy. That way things are super easy to get to if she ever has an issue while she is out on the track. So simple setup, yet it is very, very effective for a 200 series. Love it. I don't know how you can't watch this. This is just riveting stuff. This guy's mad. If you haven't, you should follow him, eh? All right, so now we get to the nitty gritty of what's under the vehicle. So if it is touring Australia and it's towing a van, it's got all this gear on it, you're gonna need a GVM upgrade. So we've gone with the Lovells premium kit, which means you get remote res shocks, you get all the hardware that you're gonna need for the vehicle. We actually added some airbags after the fact as well. So we've got that in the rear for when the van goes on. We got upper control arms from Lovells. All the good bits and bits and bobs. There you go. You're gonna need that part because it is now running a 4200 GVM with a GCM of 7,700 kilos. Holy! How can you do that? Because Lovells have done the engineering and everything that you need, especially for a post-rego setup, to get it legal and mod plated correctly here in Queensland. If you are interstate, make sure you check your state regulations for what you might need to modify your vehicle correctly and legally. That way you stay insured and coppers can't take you off the road for not knowing what you need to have on your vehicle. All right, so wheels and tires on this particular vehicle, we've got the ROH Assaults, which are a load rated rim package. These guys at ROH do a fair amount of load rated rims, so if you are in a GVM space, that's definitely a good thing to look at. Wrap them in some Cooper Discoveries. Now guys, if you are touring Australia, a good AT is probably the way to go. There's a lot of blacktop before you hit dirt, depending on what you're doing. But if you are planning to tour around like Peggy is doing, towing a van, a really, really good all-terrain is something that I would highly recommend. Now, something that you kind of can't see, but Bendix Ultimate Brake Kit has gone on the 200. Like I said before, it is a 2017, so Peggy was like, I want to be able to stop. And I said, well, have I got the thing for you? Actually, I didn't say that. I'm pretty sure Sean did. But new rotors, front and rear, and pads as well in that kit. So this thing stops on a dime. What else is underneath the car? Full underbody protection from Custom Off-Road. So bash plate, front to almost rear. So you got your front one, midsection, your transmission cover, all of that is protected under the vehicle. So that way, when Peggy is off-road, she doesn't have to worry about those important parts underneath the vehicle. Another thing that has gone underneath at the same time as the fuel tank and all that stuff that's happened, Torqit exhaust system. So it is a twin system from the front, DPF back, I should say, all the way to the tip, which is a 4-inch outlet at the rear. It is probably my most favorite looking exhaust system. It's just the twin pipes over the diff at the rear and then out the back. It is a really, really cool system, and it's got a great note as well. It's not over the top, so if you are towing like Peggy will be, you're not going to be blasting your eardrums out while you're driving down the highway, but it gives a nice note, and most importantly, it allows that big twin turbo V8 to breathe properly. So yeah, I love them. I think they're a really, really good piece of equipment, and 10-year warranty. So how can you say no to that? All right, crew, so now we're on the inside of the vehicle because you got to do stuff to the interior as well as the exterior. Can't just stay outside. So let's go through a couple of things that we've done in here. The vehicle did come to us with a aftermarket head unit, so we haven't done that one, but pretty much everything else in here has been done by us. So what have we done? We've got a new HEMA GPS navigator system on the windshield here. That was a request by Peggy as well. She is traveling around Australia, so she did want a off-road mapping system. That was a separate unit by itself. I'm a fan of it. I think it's a good idea. That way you've kind of got one thing to do its job, and then if you need another, like your phone or whatever, when you do have reception, you can utilize that for normal mapping. Even though this will do it all, it is good to have sometimes a separate off-road mapping system that is capable of doing that. Again, each to his own. All right, Tow Pro is a must-have for her because she is towing a van, so Tow Pro's in a really nice spot down here right near the shifter. We did do GME XRS unit. Everything's in the handpiece here as well with the pass-through on the dash here. That way it's easy to get to, and if you don't want to have it there, you can literally unplug it, put it in the glove box and forget all about it. On the driver's side here, you can see this quad lock phone mount. Now we have thrown that in. It has a lead here for charging as well, so when the phone goes on, bang, it is charging, and obviously you don't even have to hang on to it or put it anywhere weird. The other thing on the driver's side here is I do have a button for our Clearviews because they are foldable. So if I hit that button, in come my mirrors, and if I hit it again, out they go. What else do I have down here is simply the switch for our spotlights and roof light bar, which is obviously being controlled from the driver's seat off your high beam for legalities as well. And if you didn't see, I'm sitting on some black duck seat covers. So we've got Their premium seat covers all around, front, rear, and you get a nice one on top of the center console here as well, which I think is a good idea because you get your old arm on the armrest thing here and it does wear them out over time. So I think that's actually a good idea. The Safety Dave display is up on the rear view mirror here, so the standard one pretty much acts as a mount for that. There are other brands that do different types of replacement mirrors and all that. The Safety Dave one is great because it actually has that 4-channel function though, which not many other replacement ones do. So depending on what you have or what your needs are, that's definitely a good way to be as well. If you do see on the dash there, on the windshield there is a front and rear dash cam also. Can't remember if the team did that, but I will mention it. If you didn't realize or notice on the dash here, I've actually got a little TPMS unit. So Peggy's asked for that because not only will it monitor the tires on the vehicle, but it will also monitor the tires on the caravan. Look, it's another personal preference thing, depending on whether you want to or not monitor your tires as much as one person to the other. Totally up to you. It's a good little piece of unit though, because if you do get a slow leak, it's going to tell you, because you can actually set alarms for low pressures, and at least that way, if you are cruising down the highway and your tires slowly going down on the caravan or something like that, you might get a little bit more notice than it just blowing off the side of the van or the car. So that's not a bad little piece of equipment. Interior wise though guys, that is pretty much it for the 200. It's a nice rounded out cab space and I think she's really going to like it. So yeah, interior done. What a celebrity comeback this old girl has had. She'll be ready for her off-road trip around Australia. Make sure you guys give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe because this thing's coming back next year. I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll see you guys next time at the Boar Shed for stage 2. See you guys, have a good one. Hello, how's it going? And welcome to Adventure Show number 1. I'm trying, what's the word for that bracket? What do you call it? A flip down. Yeah, I'm starting again because I forgot what I mentioned. For Peggy's 200 series. Holy crap, my mouth is dry, my hair is not. But I'll say it to you right now if you're still watching, so Merry Christmas. All right, so what a celebrity grow up. Hayden's like, I'm always recording, so just hurry up.